Hello and welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Let's go start now. Alexandra Eala vs Anouk Koevermans. Match WTA Oeiras Ladies Open 2025. Third round. The Portuguese sun cast golden shadows across the red clay as two young warriors stepped onto the court for what would become one of the most riveting showdowns of the 2025 Oeiras Ladies Open. In one corner stood Alexandra Eala, the top seed, the prodigy-turned-powerhouse from the Philippines, commanding global attention with her steady rise through the WTA rankings. Across the net was the tenacious Anouk Koevermans, the Dutch challenger who had quietly carved her way through the draw with nothing to lose and everything to prove. This was more than a third-round encounter. It was a clash of contrast: pressure versus freedom, rhythm versus raw energy, expectation versus underdog grit. And when the dust settled, the court bore the marks of a match that delivered not just shots, but a story. A match built on momentum. Alexandra Eala had cruised into the third round with poise. Her heavy topspin, courtcraft, and signature composure had already dismantled her previous opponents. Every movement hinted at a player not just playing well, but playing with purpose. Eyes locked on the trophy, heart rooted in the moment. Koevermans, meanwhile, had quietly been building a narrative of her own. Her first two matches were displays of raw hustle, swinging freely, returning deep, and pushing past opponents with calculated aggression. While Eala arrived with expectation, Koevermans came armed with surprise. The draw had placed them on a collision course, and fans knew this wasn't just going to be a formality. Koevermans wasn't here for a cameo, and Eala, she never underestimates her opponents, especially not on clay. First set, the calm before the roar. The match opened with a surprising rhythm, Koevermans swinging confidently, painting lines and pushing Eala deep into corners. She broke early, sending a jolt through the modest but electric Portuguese crowd. But Eala, ever the tactician, absorbed the storm, adjusting her angles and rhythm like a dancer finding the beat. By the fifth game, she had found her footing, grinding out long rallies and forcing errors with relentless precision. The crowd could almost feel a shift, like watching tidewaters pull back before a wave. Eala closed the first set 6-4, not with fireworks, but with finesse. Her tennis was quiet but undeniable, like a slow-building symphony. Second set, Koevermans strikes back. But Koevermans wasn't done. Unwilling to let Eala dictate, the Dutch challenger came out with renewed fire, charging the net, flattening out her strokes, and catching Eala off guard. She pushed the pace, turned defense into offense, and broke serve with a screaming backhand down the line that sent her bench on its feet. The second set was a tug-of-war, both players battling not just each other, but the ever-shifting nature of clay, uneven bounces, swirling wind, and the physical toll of extended rallies. At 5-5, it was anyone's game, but Koevermans dug deep, saving 3 break points with fearless winners, then snatched the set 7-5, roaring with defiance. The match was level, and the energy around court one began to feel like something out of a movie. Final set, fire meets ice. By the third set, this wasn't just a match, it was a duel. Every point had weight, every serve was a question. Who would blink first? Eala, composed as ever, leaned into her strategy. She began extending rallies, working the court from side to side, making Koevermans hit that extra ball, a tactic she's perfected over years at the Rafa Nadal Academy. The rallies grew longer, the tension higher. Koevermans, fighting fatigue and nerves, kept swinging, but the errors crept in, and Eala, sensing the momentum shift, pounced with clinical precision. At 4-3, Eala broke serve with a forehand winner that landed just inside the sideline, a shot that brought the crowd to its feet. With every point, she was digging in, not just physically, but emotionally, embodying the grit that has come to define her career. She served for the match at 5-4, and though Koevermans saved one match point with a gutsy lob, Eala closed it out on the second, and aced down the tee. Final score, 6-4, 5-7, 6-4. More than a win. As the two players met at the net for a respectful handshake, it was clear. This match wasn't about rankings or statistics. It was about resilience. For Koevermans, it was a breakout performance, proof that she belongs on this stage. For Eala, it was a reaffirmation, She can handle pressure, adapt mid-match, and win even when the odds tilt momentarily against her. I knew she'd come out swinging, Eala said in her post-match interview, still catching her breath. But these are the matches I live for, the ones where you have to find another gear. And she did. Oeiras, Portugal, April 2025. The red clay of the Portuguese coast witnessed a classic duel of grit, grace, and guts as top-seeded Alexandra Eala of the Philippines battled Dutch challenger Anouk Koevermans in a high-stakes third-round match at the 2025 Oeiras Ladies Open. With a semifinal slot on the line and clay court confidence at stake, the encounter unfolded as a captivating three-set battle, a true WTA-level war that showcased the rising star power of Eala and the fearless surge of Koevermans. Opening act, Eala's patience versus Koevermans' punch. The first set opened with Koevermans stepping onto the court with fire in her eyes. Undeterred by Eala's top-seed status, she pushed the pace early, using a clean, flat backhand to pin Eala deep and force uncomfortable angles. For a few games, it looked like an upset might be brewing. But Eala didn't blink. She never does. True to her Rafa Nadal influence training, Eala dug in, extended the rallies, and gradually ground down Koevermans' rhythm. With her signature topspin forehand and smart point construction, Eala began to wear out the Dutch woman's defenses. A crucial break in the seventh game gave Eala the lead, and she calmly closed the set 6-4 with a confident cross-court winner. It wasn't flashy. It was calculated, composed, vintage Eala. Second set, the Koevermans comeback. The second set belonged to Koevermans, and she made sure of it. Raising her aggression, she took the ball earlier, stepped inside the baseline, and delivered a flurry of winners that caught Eala slightly off guard. Her return game sharpened, and she began disrupting Eala's service rhythm with deep, early strikes and clever drop shots. Eala fought hard to stay level, but Koevermans played some of the best tennis of her tournament, breaking the top seed at 5-5 and serving out the set 7-5 with an ace that sent a ripple of surprise through the crowd. The score line was now level, the tension sky high. Third set, a battle of wills. With the match in the balance, both players raised their games and the intensity. The rallies stretched longer, the footwork grew fiercer, and the tactical adjustments became more evident. Eala began to rely on her clay court endurance and mental fortitude, working the angles, slowing the tempo, and making Koevermans hit more shots per point. Every game became a marathon. Every hold, a victory. Every error, a turning point. At 4-4, with the sun dipping lower and nerves dancing in the air, Eala dug out a crucial break after a 12-minute game, forcing errors by drawing Koevermans wide and dictating with her looping forehand. Now serving for the match at 5-4, Eala didn't flinch. She hit her spots, chased every ball, and delivered a final inside-out forehand winner to close the match 6-4, 5-7, 6-4, a hard-earned win that sent her to the quarterfinals.